Good morning.
Good morning,
Welcome.
everyone.
We are so excited to share an amazing floral display with you today. We're actually going to create this gorgeous arrangement and we're going to mirror it and create the most amazing Easter table display. So I'm Wendy from WM Design House.
And I'm Diane from South House Designs, and I am enjoying my visit with Wendy in her she shed that you've all been seeing on the internet. And I'm here in person for the first time.
So excited to have you.
Yes. So let's get to it.
Okay, so why don't you explain what we're going to make here and how we're going to do this.
Our large table display is set up with two of these arrangements and then an absolutely fabulous, shall we say, bridge to join them together and to make a large display. Wonderful for a buffet table, for an entry hall, for all kinds of opportunities. So we're going to do this fresh flower box here, and we're going to do it in another box to show you how, but we're going to mirror each other. They're not going to be exactly the same, they're going to be mirrored. So let's let Wendy show you how we start.
So I want to show you some of the supplies that you need. So we use these beautiful wood boxes, and it's great because they have a plastic liner so you don't have to worry about water leakage. We used a piece of styrofoam, and we actually glued a plastic cup in the center for our styrofoam, which I'll show you in just a moment. And then you'll need a couple of the wet foam blocks. Now,
And we have all of these supplies linked in the description for you.
we sure do. So now I'm going to show you how I've put it together. So what I've done is I've cut my little plastic cup here. Let me show you up close. And then I've soaked my wet foam and I've put it around the cup. So we already have the cup inside of this arrangement. And when we create that bridge, we're going to insert the bridge into the cup on either side. And as Diane said, we're going to mirror that arrangement. We are going to use a Lazy Susan to show you this display. So we're going to put this one here. We're going to leave this here so that you can see how we're going to mirror that.
That's right. And we have our greens and florals. I had so much fun yesterday.
Oh, wasn't that the
Oh
best?
my gosh, because Wendy, who of course lives here in LA, goes to the flower market quite frequently, and I've always been jealous of that. So for my visit, she agreed that we would go down to the flower market, and we had a completely different arrangement in mind.
Yes, we
And
were.
then the flowers spoke to us, and we got all kinds of ideas, and we changed several times, and we landed on this idea. So
And oh, we just loved it.
can't
So
wait to share it with you.
Diane's going to start, and we are starting with a very airy fern, and we are going to create a green base. You always want to create a base first, and then start with your largest flowers and work your way down. So we are just going to create this little base going all the way around. I guess there's no reason we can't do this together.
That's
Maybe
right.
it would go a little quicker, huh?
And I kind of like having this low and covering the edge and kind of draping over the box. It looks like it's been growing up in nature over quite a bit of time.
Absolutely. And that's just how fern grows, out of the rocks, just sort of at a random pattern. So you can see how we're actually mirroring that arrangement on the other side.
With one exception, because
Yes.
neither one of us is real fond of complete symmetry. So
Exactly.
we have a little special treat that's going to go right in this front corner here. So that's why we're leaving that empty.
Right. You're right, because we filled that. Absolutely.
Okay,
So-
then we're going to start with our next largest greens.
So this is Italian rustic.
Oops.
And we're going to kind of put this in the corner here to create, to take your eye to the spot that is taller. We're gonna put that, let's see, move this one here, and we're gonna put this maybe just like that. Maybe I'm a little taller.
He's a little closer to our standard. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. And let me trim this a little bit, because I don't think I want it quite as high as I had it.
Yeah, let's see. Might be the illusion.
Let's see.
of-
Oh, it might be the illusion. You're
Yes.
right. So now, because that one's down and this one's up, I'm not taking in to consideration. The beauty of this Lazy Susan is that you can turn it and work on it, and you can see all angles of how your arrangement is coming
Always
out.
work with the Lazy Susan.
Okay, next, let's see. You want to put in the stalks.
Sure.
So we trimmed and cleaned all our flowers ahead of time, right? It's so important that you do that. Put a nice clean cut on the ends of your flowers, and typically on an angle so that it allows the veins to collect more water.
There you go.
Okay. And these, oh, they smell so good, don't they?
Heavenly.
Yeah.
We got to the parking garage of the mart, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I can smell it. I can
Yep.
smell it. I know we're at the flower market. And she just laughed because she's so used to it.
I am, but the
But-
minute you get out of the car, you can smell it.
And I'm a
So good.
Kansas girl, so I still have a couple of months before we have this level of flowers coming
Oh.
in. Unless,
Okay.
of course, I'm going to a florist. But
Right. Oh, we have a few more pieces. Okay, next we're going to put in some tulips. And you can see we
Look.
have a variation.
at these colors, aren't they fabulous?
So pretty. So we wanted it to be very bright and springy. We wanted this to look like a garden, right?
Yes.
Just right out of your garden.
Nothing too planned and formal.
Right.
Oh, you're going there. I'll go over here then.
Okay. I'm left-handed, so I'm
Oh, that's
and
right.
I have a hurt hand. So I'm trying to work on the right side. Not always easy for me.
We probably should have changed positions,
That's
but
okay.
we'll work around it. Let me see. Oh, I have this little one over here.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
good
take
spot
this
for him.
guy. Let's see, we can go right here. Now on the tulips, you always want to remove the very bottom leaf and then insert your flower. And we did that. We prepped them yesterday, so ours are all ready to go so that we didn't keep you for hours.
And I think I
Let's
need to
see.
go, this one needs to come down
Go
a little
in
bit
the-
shorter.
I'm going to turn this around just for a second. Sorry. Got it?
I got it. Got my placement now.
Okay. And I think I'm gonna go right here. Oh, that's looking great. Okay, let's do our daffodils next. Oh, we had one tulip but get by us. I'll pop that
And the
in.
tulips are always, the daffodils are always so sweet.
I love them, and I know I make you jealous when I tell you.
And I am always, tulips, I have to admit, are my absolute favorite. And that's because I can't have them. We have deer,
Oh,
and the deer think it is totally their buffet.
yeah.
And they wait until the morning that they would actually start, possibly just that beginning opening. And they come through and they take every single one of them out.
Little rascals.
So we can't even leave them on there long enough to then cut and bring inside. They don't even make that. This guy's probably too tall for there.
Now, you don't have to buy your flowers at the flower mart because you don't have a flower mart, right?
No, we don't.
So you can buy them at the local grocery store or Trader Joe's. I was telling Diane yesterday, you can get a whole bunch of daffodils at Trader Joe's for 99 cents, but
it is not fair. I have
I
a
know.
Trader Joe's, but it's the closest one is almost an hour drive for me.
yeah.
So
Oh,
it's not something I
I'm
can
sorry.
just drop into. So there's Costco, you
Right,
know, and you
yes.
can get some good flowers at Costco.
That is so true.
And I do
I
have
never
a
think
Costco.
about Costco. Let's see.
Very
We're
handy.
going to spin this around for.
Oh, there we
yes.
go. There's the spot right
Yeah.
there.
Perfect.
It's funny when we both see the exact same spot.
Yep.
Oh, that's looking so pretty.
It does.
Oh.
Okay, so next we have some ranunculus, these
They
gorgeous
are
ranunculus.
so beautiful. I want this guy front and center. He is just spectacular.
Okay.
Look at the color on that bright green. We couldn't
Oh.
resist that with this. Oh, so pretty. I think I'm going on the leaf. There we
Yeah,
go. There we go.
sometimes it's hard to get your fingers down to, oh, beautiful. And this one, look at this. It's just the buds.
It's
but
just the
it
buds,
will
but they're so
open
charming.
and very
So
charming.
charming.
Okay, I'm gonna swirl this around and put it in here. Oh, perfect. And
There,
yeah,
let's
you
see.
don't want to forget about, we don't want to forget about the back because, you know, if you have this on a table and you're seeing it from both sides, of course you want it to be beautiful on the front and the back.
And these here in the front that I'm putting in right next to where we have a little special treat going, they're just there to highlight it, to bring your eye into that little spot.
Yep. Oh, look at that.
That's so cute. And a couple more little babies back here.
Let's
Just fill it
see, we'll
in.
turn it around.
And we'll do one over here.
Maybe put this little tiny guy right there. Oh, I love them.
This guy, I need to cut his stem.
Okay.
Or he's not
While
gonna
you're
go.
doing
He's
that,
not
so
gonna behave.
I want you to see, I'm gonna lift this up, how you can see the cup, the empty cup that's inside there where we're gonna insert our little bridge, our treat. You won't believe how these two are gonna come
That's so
together.
cute.
It's so
It's
cute.
so cute. So cute.
Okay. Now that we've finished that, we're gonna put a little bit of white wax flour in, and this is just a soft little flower that adds a little bit of filler and has some really cute greenish yellow centers.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one?
Okay.
Oh, we need some down here. There we go.
Cute, and maybe one more coming out right there. Okay, perfect. We are nearing the end here. It's hard to believe. Okay, our last is hyacinth. Oh,
Now this is amazing what it smells
smell
like.
that. Ooh,
And the different variety, I have never seen this tiny little tight budded one. What do you
Yes.
call that? They're so tight and
Oh.
charming, and they
They're-
look so delicate, but they're really very sturdy.
they
It's
are.
amazing.
Yes. The only thing you have to be very careful with, their stems are a little soft,
Yeah.
and maybe a little harder to poke in than the other. Now, if you are opposed to the wet foam, you can always put a piece of chicken wire
Yes.
over.
Yeah.
As I know some people don't care for
And
it.
sometimes that's even easier. I'm
Yes.
gonna swing this all the way around.
Sure.
To get your flower stems in there. Especially ones that have the really thick stems like these hyacinths do, but yet the stems are also soft.
Yes.
So it's a little bit tricky to get those down in there. You have to pinch your fingers right down next to the foam to support the stem as you're pushing it down. Otherwise you can damage that. And
I have a few extra pieces of this fern that
Oh,
we
we
didn't
need,
poke
we
in,
can't
and
have
we-
leftover fern.
No. We poke it in here.
And we are almost there.
Yeah.
This is so cute.
Connect our bridge. Okay.
And bridge is not a very good word for it,
It
actually.
really isn't. It needs to
Because-
be maybe arbor.
Oh, arbor's a
I
good
like the
word. I
word
like arbor.
arbor.
Because bridge
Yeah.
you think of as being rather flat or kind of maybe going like this, and that is not what we're doing.
Okay, I think we're ready to take it off the Lazy Susan,
I-
so let's remove that.
Oops,
Oops.
excuse me.
That's actually used for cake making, so. Okay, so Diane was telling you that we had a little special treat for you in the center here, and that we really like it to be asymmetrical. We don't want everything to look so perfect,
That's
right?
That's right.
Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of moss. This is just some dried sphagnum moss, and we're gonna put that in the center there. Maybe, let's see.
But we are also going to put it all around the edges.
Yep.
Can you see here how it kind of drapes over the edge of the box? It softens the hard lines of the box if you have it drape over and be kind of just natural. Really, there's a function to it also, is to hide all the mechanics behind it.
Oh, yes.
So you don't want the foam sticking out. You don't want to see anything. If you are using an arrangement where maybe you had to use a couple of pins to get the flowers to stay, this will cover all of that. If you have chicken wire or florist wire in there, it'll cover it all with the sphagnum moss. But we just wanted to have this little cup right there.
Okay, now we have these the cutest little plant.
Do you think we need to put our bridge in first?
So,
we need to put those in, yes.
We need to put these in first. So these are a little moss plant that comes on a stem. Can you see how cute those are? So we're gonna
really soft and
create,
cute.
just poking this in, a cute little like grass pad. That's a good word for it. And you want to push these all the way down so you're creating an actual, looks like a grassy area.
Here's the fourth one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So we used 4 of those. So we're gonna put that in.
Yep.
And then we're going to place this sweet little bird's nest right there. So sweet.
Isn't that
And
charming?
just a nice little added touch. Okay, now we're gonna separate our arrangements a little bit as we create our arbor. And we're going to put a display in the center of
That's
our
right.
arbor, correct?
Well, let's
But
put,
maybe
let's put
we
the
should
arbor
put-
up first.
I agree, because I don't think we want that bunny to fall over, right? Okay, so
So I'm
let's,
actually going to move the nest out of the way right now.
okay.
And we're going to put it right back in that
So
spot.
let's talk about our arbor. So this is, we use fresh curly
It's
willow.
about 6 feet. It's about 72 inches across to give you perspective.
Correct.
And this is the curly willow, and it's fresh.
Yes.
And you kind of need to have that fresh because it's that
You
way
can
it's
see
bendable.
We can bend this in any direction.
Now there's also artificial willow, which we
You
have
can
posted.
see here.
See, the brown one is more artificial, and that is the one we posted for you in the description below is a wired one. So it is also bendable. So make sure if you're doing something like this that you get a bendable version if you are going the artificial
Right,
route.
and you can see, now what we've done is we've poked these stems into a small round of styrofoam, and we put some hot glue, and now we're gonna place our styrofoam into our cup.
Yes.
So you just wanna find your little cup, and then we're going to push it down just like that.
Yep. There we go.
Okay, so you can
Isn't that
see,
cute?
and then you can still bend it and play with it. And then we're going to add one more touch to our arch. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna give you one, Diane, and I'm gonna hold one. This is a faux or fake, however you wanna call it, amaranthus, green amaranthus. So we are going to take the end and we're gonna poke that into our styrofoam right next to where we had our curly willow poked in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see,
Oops, I'm sorry.
just like that.
At the end.
Yeah, they want to attach to each other, right? And then you want to wrap this around your curly willow arch, and then we will meet together at the top.
But you want to take out my pretty tulip in the way.
I know. And you just want to sort of let it flow naturally, right? Make it look like it's in the garden, and you've created this gorgeous arbor.
Isn't that the sweetest? Boy,
Oh.
that isn't an attention getter.
I just love it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oops, you got this.
Beautiful. Okay, and lastly, we could probably put our little bird
Yes,
nest.
put my little bird back.
Okay, we also had, remember we had a few little dried twigs, and we put them around at the base of our
Here you go. Here's another one.
arbor. You got it?
Mhm.
Okay, and just put them in there. So we really wanted it to have a natural feel and look just like it came out of the garden. Okay.
Here, let's have Bunny.
Okay, then we're going to take an urn or any kind of a
Any
container.
vessel of any kind.
Right.
But preferably not square, because you want to break these up since you have a square box. something that has a little bit of variety to it.
Right, and this is a heavy antique urn that I've used, but you could use a flower pot or
Sure.
almost anything. And then we filled it with green moss and a little bit of the wax flower.
And set our little bunny on top
So
and
cute.
have it.
So there, that was so
That's
fun.
it. It's so fun. It's so easy, and boy, is it spectacular.
It really is. I can't wait to take it in the house and put it on my table. So we hope you had a great time watching us create this beautiful arrangement, and we'll look forward to seeing